And so I have actually tried online therapy. And so I think I started getting these ads because of that. And so there's a movement now where these companies are showing a lot of ads that kind of that seem to capitalize on trends around destigmatizing mental health. So I do want to just start this off by saying that everything we talk about, there's two sides to the coin. So like there's really, really awesome things that are happening. And then because of those awesome things, or because of other things that are going on in the world right now in our culture, there are also not so good things. So it's a little bit of both. So when we talk about destigmatizing mental health diagnoses, obviously we know that there's some really good things that have come out of that and are continuing to. So people who really need help are actually getting help more than they would have before we've destigmatized these things. Obviously, shame and secrecy are a huge barrier when it comes to healing from a mental health diagnosis or from any kind of emotional struggle. So if you remove some of that shame and secrecy, that's actually a really positive thing for the healing process. So obviously, that's a good thing that has come out of this destigmatization. And of course, when we think about online therapy, there's a million things we can say that are good about it. People have access to it that wouldn't have before. It's more affordable. It's easier to get on if if you have social anxiety or if you have difficulty with transportation. It's much easier to access. And it just takes away some of those barriers. So when we think about all of these trends, specifically these two, those are some really awesome things that have come out of it. What I was kind of leading into at the beginning with the advertising and the kind of like media campaigns, there is a movement that has kind of come along with this destigmatization, where it's almost we're trying so hard to normalize therapy that it has become this trope among people that everyone should have a therapist and everyone should be in therapy. Everyone and their mother needs to go see a therapist. Whatever is going on in your life, therapy is the answer. This is truly what I see and what before I brought this to Cup of Joy, I did talk to others about this before I was like kind of wrapped up in my own, like, how you get in the algorithms and you're just like the same ad all the time and you're like, this can't just be me, right? Like I can't just be the only one seeing this stuff. So it's true, at least in the few other people I've talked to. And I know that just in general, having spoken to even in our coaching sessions and in stuff that goes on in Joy Society, there is a different kind of sense of what therapy even is than I felt like even 10 years ago when I was kind of first getting into the field of being a mental health clinician and first exploring that as a possibility. It just feels like a very different thing.